If you've spent any time on social media, you've probably seen influencers flexing their overly priced Erewhon hauls. And if you're not sure what Erewhon is, it's the most exclusive, the most expensive, and possibly the most out-of-touch grocery store that is in America.
I bought a $30 bag of ice from Erewhon. It's meant to be used for whiskey. I don't even drink alcohol.
This is my haul today at Erewhon. Both of these meals cost $120, which is actually insane. I of course had to get the Hailey Beaver smoothie. It's my favorite always. It's always gonna be worth it, 20 bucks.
Come with us to the literal best place on earth, aka Erewhon.
I just spent $68 on smoothie at Erewhon. Let's do a taste test.
But that does not stop influencers. They're paying for tiny bottles of juice for $13, paying for $20 smoothies, paying $85 for like a meal in a box. And now there's this new viral Erewhon strawberry where you're literally paying $20 for one strawberry in some bougie container. Let's watch some of these strawberry videos because they're entertaining, but they're also very out of touch because $20 is like a tank of gas for some cars. That would fill up maybe half my tank, but still, I'd rather pay for gas than pay for one overly large strawberry just because, or just for a video.
Okay, this is a $19 strawberry from Erewhon. So we're gonna eat it. It's from Kyoto in Japan. And apparently it's like the best tasting strawberry in the entire world. So here we go. I don't even know how you open this. It's literally sitting on like a little tray. Wait, you gotta just eat it like this, right? Wow, that is the best strawberry. That's crazy. Dad, that is the best strawberry I've ever had in my life. For one strawberry, $19 for one strawberry.
Yeah, for $19.
It's actually the best strawberry I've ever had. And it's from Japan. I need to eat every last bit of it.
Yeah, you do. She's on TikTok doing it. She's like this big reviewer. Okay, look at that.
I'm a big reviewer.
I know, I got one too.
Okay, I didn't realize that she was flexing her whole influencer thing, or this guy that she's with is like flexing her influencer thing. She starts looking around to see if anyone's really paying attention to her, and not really, like no one's paying attention to her. Some of these influencers, the reaction to taste testing things drive me up the walls. Like they're so over exaggerated, it's so funny. And I feel like every time I watch one of these strawberry videos, they're all over exaggerated.
This is how normal people react to eating food. Really nice. Really nice. I think I'll have another one. Versus influencers. Oh my god! You have to try.
That's not the point of this video. The point is people are going out and buying a $19 or $20 strawberry for seemingly no other reason than to post about it because it's viral.
Trying the $19 strawberry from Erewhon, and I got 2 of them. And yes, each one is $19. And they're imported from Kyoto, Japan. This is so bougie. It's on like a little stand. I only bought 2 and my car literally smells like strawberries. Okay, let's try it. Oh, that's fresh. Oh my gosh. Okay, it does taste good, but is it worth the $19? No. Okay, let's try this one too. Okay, this is how it looks like without the stand. Oh, that smells so good. This one tastes better. But honestly, guys, I've had strawberries just as good that weren't $19.
Thank you for speaking the truth and not saying that's the best strawberry I've ever had in my life. There are so many other strawberries that taste just as good. Who's gonna pay $20 for one huge strawberry when you can get like a whole pack of them? I think like my friend got a whole pack of strawberries the other day for like $1.69. And then this influencer bought 2, which, you know, whatever. I'm just thankful she was honest. That's nearly $40 plus the tax on that for 2 strawberries. Like, is anyone else just mind blown about this, that people are actually going out here spending 20 bucks on a strawberry? It flabbergasts me.
One singular strawberry, $20. So of course I'm buying it right now and trying it. It comes from Japan and apparently it's the most delicious strawberry. Okay, wow. Does look really good. They inspect every single strawberry. I mean, that looks good.
Wait, I'm like, how did you guys put together that, like, you're my brother?
I'm gonna eat every last piece. Not gonna lie, 1,000 out of 10.
So we've looked at the strawberries. We've seen that some influencers will over exaggerate how good it is. Again, I'm not doubting that it's good, but is it $20 good? Probably not. And then there's other people who seriously are reviewing them, not just buying them because they want to post social media content about it. But how does one small health food store go to a grocery store for the rich and famous? Because unless you're bringing in tons of dough, there's no way you're going to be able to do your average grocery shop trip at the store. And what does this say about consumer culture when people are literally buying these overpriced groceries for no other reason other than clout and to maybe get a viral video? We're going to talk about that today. Believe it or not, Erewhon wasn't always a status symbol. It started in 1966 as a tiny health food store in Boston, back when organic wasn't a buzzword and health-conscious eating was actually about well-being rather than social media flexing. The store was founded by two pioneers of the macrobiotic diet, their mission to bring whole, unprocessed organic foods to the American market. And they were heavily influenced by Japanese philosophy. Back then, it was more so seeing food as medicine because a lot of the ailments that we struggle with in our body come from our gut. Like, that's become more well known. If your gut's off, something else in your body is bound to be off as well. And this was such a radical idea because processed foods back then were just booming. Like, processed foods were the thing. What's really interesting is where the name Erewhon came from, because it's completely contradictory to what the store stands for today. The name Erewhon comes from a novel written in the 1800s by Samuel Butler, where Erewhon is literally nowhere spelled almost backwards. The novel was a critique of society's obsession with perfection and control, which is pretty ironic considering what Erewhon has become today. In the early 2000s, Erewhon was bought by new owners and became the store we know it as today. Now it's not just a place to buy food, it's a status symbol, it's luxury. And with multiple locations across Los Angeles and plans for expansion, Erewhon has become the ultimate flex for the wellness-obsessed rich. But who actually shops here? Walk into Erewhon and you'll quickly realize it's not your typical grocery store. There's no fluorescent lights, there's no flashy sales tags. It's all about the aesthetic. And in the store, instead of finding a family of four fighting with their kids to stay in the cart or to stop crying, you'll find celebrities, you'll find influencers, and you'll find the wealthy wellness enthusiasts. But in today's video, I want to focus more on the influencers and the social media stars that are constantly flexing their Erewhon hauls, what they are eating at Erewhon today and everything like that, because influencers are meant to be a little bit more relatable than, let's say, a movie star celebrity. Influencers and TikTok personalities are obsessed with Erewhon. It's not just about the food, it's about the brand. You'll see them filming their $200 grocery hauls, sipping on Erewhon branded smoothies. Are they really worth it? Probably not. You could probably make something better at home. But the reason why this is so problematic, at least to me, is because the cost of living is really, really high right now. A lot of people can't even afford to pay their grocery bills or their rent or other bills that are necessary for them to survive. And yet there's people out here posting on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts flexing the fact that they just spent $500 or $1,000 at Erewhon and filmed the whole thing.
Y'all know what's really crazy living in America is the fact that you could work 2-3 jobs, work 60 hours a week, and barely afford to live, barely afford to go to school, barely afford groceries, and it's just like, there's nothing you can do. Like, there's nothing you can do. It just is what it is. Like, there's not enough money. People don't get paid enough just to even survive. But that's reality, I guess. I don't know.
And this is why Erewhon is out of touch, at least to me, because their prices are so over the top. And I work at a health food store, okay? I know that organic ingredients can cost a little bit more, but what Erewhon is charging is so unnecessarily high. It's not because of the food, but it's because of the experience. And we're going to get into that later on. But let's talk about why Erewhon is so out of touch. It's because the prices of everything are rising. Rent, groceries, gas. Literally everything has gone up and minimum wage is not.
This is why I feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. Like, I feel like my life as soon as I wake up is literally just me putting down a credit card. And it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just like, what are you going to have? And I'm just like, I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just like, oh, really? Well, if you're going to be here, you're going to need to spend money. And I'm just like, what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just like, yeah, you have to buy something now. It's even getting to the point where like, I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive, you know? Like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy. And then all of a sudden, I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you got to buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're going to suffocate in your sleep. Sleep is the only place I still feel kind of safe. But even there, it's like I could have sleep problems for one night and then I wake up feeling kind of groggy and all of a sudden I'm getting targeted ads for melatonin gummies. It's like all of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just every increment of our life costs something.
To put things into perspective for you, just because I know I'm going to get some sort of comments criticizing what I'm saying, which you know what is fine. I'm criticizing people all the time. I get it. Just think about this for a second. The average cost of groceries for a single person in the US is about $300 to $400 per month. At Erewhon, that might get you what, a few pre-packaged meals and a couple of fancy drinks? A single trip to Erewhon can easily cost a week's worth of groceries at Trader Joe's or Walmart or wherever you like to shop. The thing that bothers me most is that healthy eating should not be a luxury. Why is it that all the healthy food, the food that humans are supposed to be eating, costs an arm and a leg, but then you get all this processed garbage that costs a couple dollars? It doesn't make any sense to me. And it shouldn't be reserved for the rich and wealthy who can afford to drop hundreds of dollars on organic, grass-fed, unpasteurized, GMO-free, like organic food. Now that we've covered Erewhon and why the store in itself is out of touch, we're going to get to the influencers, which is my favorite part because they're the ones that are posting this content knowing it's out of touch.
Influencers are so out of touch with our economy and like how little money people have right now, and they try so hard to like be relatable. My favorite right now is when they go to Erewhon and they spend like $80 on a plate of hot food from a grocery store and then proceed to complain about how expensive that hot plate of food from the grocery store was. Babes, you're missing the point entirely. Your audience is not shopping there. Like, they're shopping at Kroger, they're shopping at Aldi, they're shopping at Walmart. It's like buying a Mercedes and then complaining about how expensive it is to get it fixed. Like, you knew that. Like, you knew that going in. You knew that it was expensive. It's a luxury item. Go review like grocery store sushi from like a Kroger. Complain about how much that costs. Like, most people can't pay their rent right now. They're not spending $80 on a plate of buffalo cauliflower in a smoothie.
There's something incredibly tone deaf about posting your $20 smoothie when food insecurity is rising, inflation has made basic groceries unaffordable, and people are working multiple jobs just to survive in this economy. And yet here influencers are spending hundreds of dollars just for the aesthetic. My lighting is all crazy today. I'm so sorry. This is what happens when I film in my bedroom and there's not great lighting. I try my best, and today is not going to work out that well for me. Let's get back into it. So influencers don't just buy the food, they make sure to post their Erewhon hauls and casually sip their branded smoothies in their luxury cars, probably rented. It's like they want people to know how much they're spending because they think that they're better than everyone else who can't afford to. And that's speculation, but in a time where people are really struggling and starting to cut back on essentials just to get by, this kind of flex is not just unnecessary, it's insulting. Of course, influencers aren't obligated to be mindful of how much they're spending, but when you build a platform off of relatability and engagement, throwing your wealth in people's faces isn't just out of touch, it's actively alienating your audience.
What I bought and how much I spent at Erewhon in LA. So this place is known to be very expensive and health focused. For example, this water was $26. I'm just buying a few specialty items. It's my first time shopping here. I found this local raw honey for $12 to use in my matcha. Walking around was really pleasant and the shelves were stacked very nicely. I picked up this fermented black garlic that you can eat raw and is supposed to be very good for you. And then I also got this blue sea moss because I've been seeing it all over social media. Then I visited their huge wall of vitamins and got these lion's mane mushroom gummies, ashwagandha because I wanted to give it a try, and then some more vitamins to help me sleep on my flight later. As you can see, I really didn't get much, but my total ended up being $204 for only 7 items.
I feel like the most expensive things on this receipt, let me just go back there. Yeah, so the most expensive thing on this list is the Lion's Mane mushroom gummies, which mushrooms are very expensive, especially like even at my store, they're a little bit more expensive. But if you're gonna pay that much for a vitamin and you can actively swallow capsules or take a liquid form or even the powder form, that would be a better way to spend your money. I know a lot of people can't swallow pills and that's perfectly fine, but she got other supplements in the capsule form, so I know she can. The fact she spent $44 on gummies that are filled with a whole bunch of fillers and probably not accurate with the dosage that they're claiming they have in each gummy on the label, that's not a good use of spending your money. And from what I'm seeing, this isn't super expensive, but the sea moss gel, buying it just because you see it on social media, not a good way to spend money either. Like, I get people want to try things, try something a little bit more affordable at a different store maybe.
We're doing an Erewhon haul. This is my first time going to Erewhon and actually buying like groceries for my own place and not just going and getting like a smoothie and a hot plate. Now I tried to get only things that I'm like, I can only get this at Erewhon. Like, I didn't need to get like water bottles there because that'd be $5,000. Okay, well, eggs. We had to get eggs. I feel like a really healthy girl. So first we have 2 different grain-free pretzels, which I'm assuming is like gluten-free because those are always the crunchier ones. These are spicy. These are garlic herb. It's not really spicy, but I like them. Garlic and herb. I'm the biggest meat lover in the world, but I also really like tofu. I saw this spicy tofu. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is delicious. Whoa. I got breakfast sausage to go with my egg. Now this is something that's new for me. This is kombucha because I usually think kombucha tastes like ooh. Girl was walking around with samples and she was like, would you try a little bit of this? So kombucha is good for gut health. Oh, she said this one was good for creativity and anxiety. And I was like, I took all the last cans that were in the store. But it doesn't taste like booty hole. They're really good. This is also kind of crazy for me, but I got some yogurt. I don't know if this is like Greek yogurt or not. Oh yeah, Greek. Ashton's gonna be so proud of me. And I got some granola to go in it because I thought maybe this could be like another good breakfast. I love chia pudding, so I got a regular one.
Okay, I just want to pause it there for a second with the yogurt and the granola. She said she tried to get things that she could only find at Erewhon. Half the stuff she's showing in this haul you can get at any other health grocery store, even a non-healthy grocery store. You can find this stuff there.
And then I got a matcha one just to try. Coming up, we have another snack. These are paleo puffs. I just was like, that looks like a Cheeto. Oh! It's very coconut oil. It's not bad if you really like coconut. It is good. I was being dramatic. They're very coconut oily. I just don't know this would be like my go-to snack. Cottage cheese, which I love cottage cheese. Got it to put on my eggs, or you could put it on these wafers.
Also, something you can get at the grocery store. Any other grocery store.
All right, now we're getting a little bit more fun. I got some chicken salad, some guacamole, and then I got some kiwi because I saw that this was good for like digestion. And I got these Erewhon chips to go with it, but like these just look like I can see the oil dripping off of them. Like these, I know that these are gonna be good. Let's try kiwi. I love kiwi. I feel like we sleep on kiwi. Like how I said, I'm like, I only got things I could get at Erewhon, so I had to get some guacamole. I'm picky about my guacamole. The guacamole, I would say, don't waste your money on. That, it's good, but it's just like every other guacamole. All right, chicken salad. I like when it's a little bit more shredded. These are in cubes. Good, but again, nothing special. Kelp noodle salad, just because these little noodles in here looked good. Okay, then I wanted to dabble in some like juices. So this is just like a green juice. I've actually had that one before, it's good. And I got 2 different shots. Let's do this detox and immunity. Good, easy. And then I got this godforsaken sea moss gel that everyone talks about. I don't really know what it does. I want to do my gut health. Now everyone I feel like eats this and is like throwing up, so let's see if everyone's being dramatic. This is a little bit of a Big Dipper. Ooh. Holy. Okay. I mean, yuck, but like, that's nothing to be like throwing up on the floor about. It's just like bland. I actually kind of like it. I mean, it's not good, but it's not like disgusting. I was expecting this to taste like puke or something. I could do that every day. And that was my Erewhon haul. Thank you for watching.
She did not go into the price about how much this stuff costs, but just based on the last video we watched where she only purchased 7 items and it was like $200 or more, we can actively assume that this is over $500 worth of groceries or more. And not only that, but she bought things that she didn't even know she needed, plus the things that she could get at other grocery stores like yogurt, cottage cheese, the granola, and some other things. I can't remember all the things she bought right now, but you can get a lot of these things at other stores. Eggs. She got eggs. You do not have to go out and pay a premium price for healthy food. You can get it at other stores too at a more affordable rate. Also, I do want to touch on buying things just because you see them online. She bought the sea moss gel, and yes, sea moss can be good for you, but the fact she bought it and was taking it because she thinks it might help with gut health and she doesn't really know what it does, but she's going to ingest it anyway. Please, please, please do your research before you go out and purchase something just because you see it online and think it may help you with an issue. Do your research first because your body's important. You want to take care of it. That's the whole reason people are going to the store in the first place. What works for one person may not work for you. So just keep that in mind too.
This is what an $85 lunch looks like at the world's most expensive grocery store, Erewhon. And yes, I still cannot believe I spent this much money. Starting with the Hailey Bieber smoothie. I did not want to like this as much as I did because now I crave it 24/7. Here's Dante trying it for the first time and he loved it. Next, the Winnie Harlow smoothie. I don't know what they put in this, but it was honestly a 10 out of 10. It's also the prettiest smoothie ever. You have to try and get every flavor when you take a drink, and wow. Okay, moving on to the food, we got the buffalo cauliflower, mac and cheese, and the turmeric chicken tenders. I actually filmed this back in March and I cannot stop thinking about it. Coming from someone that's kind of weird about chicken, if you know, you know, these passed the test and they were so good. The mac and cheese was super rich. We both loved it. And I knew I had to get the buffalo cauliflower, but Dante didn't even want to try it at first and it ended up being his favorite thing. Then Dante decided to drop $2 worth of food on the table. Okay, lastly, the raw brownie. It was the perfect sweet treat. The ingredients are super clean. It was delicious. I'd go back just for this. And clearly we enjoyed ourselves.
Clearly you didn't want to waste $85 on food if you weren't going to eat it. So yes, they enjoyed themselves, but no normal person is out here spending $85 on lunch, especially for that amount of food. Like, that's really not a lot at all. And she dropped $85 on there. Yes, it may be good, but are you not able to find something a little bit more affordable? Not saying she has to, but I'm just saying for the general person, you can find food that tastes just as good that won't cost you $85 for one lunch. That's maybe like a dinner for 2 people at a restaurant. That's what I mean. These prices are so out of touch, but maybe that's the point, because they want premium clientele shopping in their stores and not just the average Sally and Joe walking in with their 2 kids. I don't know what the purpose of it is, but the fact that Erewhon started off on a completely different foot and has transformed into this is kind of disheartening, to be honest.
Let's go to the richest grocery store in Los Angeles, Erewhon. There is nothing more that people in Los Angeles love more than an overpriced grocery store or an overpriced coffee shop, so I'm going to take you to Erewhon. The most popular thing at Erewhon is their deli section, and which is why I come here. I'm going to show you the prices of every single thing I can get so you can gag yourself, but the food is so delish. I do not do all my grocery shopping at Erewhon because I don't want to pay $1,000 for groceries, but I will say the food is absolutely delicious and it's worth coming here to get that. Also, the drink selection is out of this world. I don't even buy any of these drinks. I just come here for these cupcakes. They are so good. They're $9.99, but they're worth it. They also have good things that they make in-house, like the Erewhon hot sauce and olive oils and stuff like that are good to get. Their produce is out of this world in pricing.
I just said that my friend got a package of strawberries like this for like $1.69 and she got 2 of them. And this one cost $23.99? There's no way in heck I am ever going to pay that much for strawberries. Absolutely not.
The best produce ever. $9 blueberries, give them to me. $13 pre-cut cucumbers, give them to me. One thing I hate about Erewhon is how narrow the aisles are. They are awkward and they are narrow and they're hard to get down. They sell Emma Chamberlain here, by the way. And this is my favorite salsa. $3.69 is not that bad. I also get the chips to go with it and they were $6.69. I don't know if they're this much at the regular grocery store, but they're the best. I just come to Erewhon for specific items. Also, check out their dessert section when you come here because it is divine. Okay, now I'm gonna go check out. I got one basket full of stuff. I did end up go back and impulsively buy this water bottle. They got me, it was $42, but it was so cute. They also have like bags here that are cute. I did not get any of these, but I got 2 bags of groceries. So these 2 bags costed me $229.
Okay, the price isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would be way more and that my jaw would just be on the floor. But $23.99 for strawberries had me baffled. Baffled, okay? That's insane. And I love myself a good strawberry. It's one of the only fruits I really actually like, which is kind of sad as a 28-year-old, but still, even then, I would not be paying that much for strawberries. So we looked at a few hauls, and the one thing I want to talk about is it ever justifiable to spend this much on food? Because there's a lot of these influencers saying they come here for specific things. You got to check out the deli section. You have to check out the dessert section. I come here for these 2 cupcakes, which cost $10, and they look like the ones I used to get in like a full box. That is very, very processed, but they look the exact same. They probably don't taste the same, but still. And then some people will say like Erewhon is selling premium food choices. If people want to spend that much on food, it's their choice, which, okay, that's valid. You can spend money on however much you want. But when you're an influencer promoting this to your audience, but you're trying to be seen as relatable, that's where it's like very out of touch and you don't know who you're speaking to, really. And I'm not saying Erewhon's food is not made with quality organic ingredients. I'm saying the price inflation is absolutely ridiculous because it's not the food you're paying for, it's the experience.
Why is Erewhon so GD expensive? From a former employee. I see everybody asking, why is Erewhon so expensive all over the internet? And I haven't actually seen anybody give like the real actual reason why. I worked there for a year in their tonic bar, which means I made 100 million Hailey Bieber smoothies a day. And I'm gonna give you the truth on why it's expensive, what's worth buying from there and what's not. I do love this, unfortunately. What I always tell people is Erewhon is like the Chanel of grocery stores. You're paying for the brand. You're paying for the experience of being in the store. Erewhon spends a lot of time making sure that everything in their store is very aesthetic, very clean, very organized. It's small. They up the prices to price out the commoners so that when you go there, you feel like you're getting an elite experience. We can debate the ethics of that another time, but that's just what it is. As far as why their products are so expensive, everything in that store is non-GMO, certified organic, and regeneratively farmed, which means sustainably farmed. So if those things are important to you, this is a wonderful store where you know you're only going to see brands that have those qualifications. It's called being a certified B Corp. Does that mean that Erewhon is the only place you can get stuff like this? No. I see some of these brands that meet these sustainability requirements at Ralph's for cheaper. Last of all, I don't think people realize that each Erewhon location has its own designated chef that comes up with different recipes and different healthy recipes. So the hot bar food is expensive because they are actually going out and getting really high quality ingredients, and there is a specified chef for every location. The hot bar items are the most expensive, but I think they're the most worth your money. I think the food that Erewhon makes is so good. As far as getting your actual groceries there, I absolutely don't think you should do that. That's my Erewhon hot take. I'm not a hater, not a lover, just someone who was traumatized by working there for a year in Beverly Hills.
Erewhon isn't just selling food, they're selling status. And so when people go there and film themselves shopping there, they're giving themselves this exclusive title like, hey, look at me. I can shop at Erewhon because I have all this money. And there's nothing wrong with them having money, okay? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them being able to afford groceries this way. I just don't think it's very tasteful when they're flaunting their wealth in people's faces. And one of the biggest problems with this is overconsumption and waste, because a lot of these people may not be finishing all the food they eat. That $20 smoothie, that's huge. Some people may not finish the whole thing and just throw it out. And then how much of this food is just bought for the content and not necessarily because they're actually going to eat it? We saw the video of Alexis Earle taste testing all the food, and there were some items that she didn't even really like that much, and guaranteed those food items would not be eaten because it's not something she would really go for when she's hungry. And so the food will expire and then it will just be wasted anyway. I don't know about you guys, but did you see all the plastic that was in these hauls? There's so much plastic, and for a place that is meant to be high quality, healthier for you, you would expect that the packaging would not be fully consumed of plastic. Meanwhile, there are people out there who probably watch these creators who are rationing their groceries, skipping meals, or maybe even relying on food banks, and yet here we have a culture of people who are spending hundreds of dollars, not because they have to, but because they want to. They want the experience of shopping at this store. And it's not just something that's normalized, it's something that's encouraged. Like, you have to check this out. You have to go to this section of the store. These influencers are encouraging their audience to go and have the experience that they're flaunting. At the end of the day, Erewhon isn't just a grocery store. It's a symbol of how out of touch influencers and wellness culture has become. Healthy eating should not be a luxury. Spending hundreds of dollars should not be a flex. It's just plain irresponsible. And no one needs a $20 smoothie to be healthy. If you genuinely love Erewhon and have the money for it, fine. But let's not pretend that Erewhon is the only place in the world, or in America, or in LA, for example, that you can get healthy food. And let's stop acting like flexing overpriced groceries in a cost of living crisis is anything other than tone-deaf overconsumption. So what do you think? Is Erewhon an overpriced scam, or do you think there's actual value in what you're purchasing there and what they offer? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. God bless, and see you next time.